Hello dear students, welcome back to this channel. Today we are going to be talking about how to plan your studies if you have your articleship going on or your job going on or some other commitments going on. Usually in that circumstance, the time available is very less. Moreover, most of your day goes consumed in that job or the articleship. So you hardly have any energy left, any focus left to actually study and prepare. But we got to clear the examination and there is always a way. So we are going to be discussing about that way, that strategy, how you should plan, what are the few things here and there that you should keep in mind to make sure that whatever time is available, you make the most of it and you ensure that with that you are able to pass the examination, right? So if you're new to this channel, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. If you have any ideas of your own, then write them down in the comment section below. A lot of the students are going to benefit from it, and if this video helps, like it and share it with your friends. Now let's start off. First things first, you need to have a plan. Let's say your articleship is from 9 o'clock onwards till 5 o'clock onwards, hypothetically. In that case, before 9 o'clock and after 5 o'clock, you have time. Okay, so you need to know how much time do you have in a day. Accordingly, how much time can you devote in a week. Moreover, you will also have weekends. You will also have some holidays here and there. You can make the most of those holidays. Let's say your articleship starts at 9 o'clock. In that case, you can wake up early. You can wake up at 5 o'clock or maybe 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock, whatever works for you. Right, and then you can study at a stretch for 3 to 4 hours, right? Similarly, when you come back after you're traveling and everything, let's say you have time from 7 o'clock onwards till the time you sleep. Again, you have 4 hours. Okay, so morning 4 hours, evening 4 hours, that's good enough 8 hours. If you really want to crack this examination, then you will have to make the most of every single minute that you have. Morning time, evening time, even in between somewhere, if you can fetch time, you will have to use it. Now, for the sake of plan, you have to set a goal for yourself. So if you think for you it's feasible to go for one group, then just go ahead and do that. Okay, if you want to clear both the groups, accordingly you will have to start your preparation way early, maybe 6 months early or 8 months early if you have articles for job going on along with it. If you want to clear only one group, if you just have 4 subjects, then in that case you can even start your preparation maybe 4 months in advance, and then also you can crack the examination. Okay, so you will have to set a realistic goal for yourself, 1 group, 2 groups, exemptions, etc., and then accordingly set up a plan. Creating a plan is not very difficult, but you have to create a plan. You have to ensure that at least a minimum of 2 proper readings are done. You will also have to decide whether you want coaching or not. Now, because you're going to be doing articleship, because you will have your job, it may be possible that you don't have enough time to be taking the coaching of every single subject. Okay, in that case, probably a few subjects that you find difficult, that you know that they are your weaknesses, you can probably take the coaching of those subjects only. For the other subjects, if possible for you, don't take the coaching. Just work on yourself, just study yourself, or maybe depend on some online video lectures that are available free on YouTube also. Basically, decide for yourself. You don't have to take the coaching of every single subject, because the point is, it's not the coaching that determines whether you're going to pass the exam or not. It is actually the self-study, the understanding, the practice, the revisions, the exam paper analysis. All of that is what determines whether you're going to pass the exam or not. Now, once you have decided how many groups you want to be appearing, and you have also calculated how much time can you actually drive from your every single day along with holidays, then create a plan. Divide the course by the time that is available. Once you've come up with the number of days that you need for every single subject, write it down on a piece of paper, stick it somewhere where you study every single day so that you can see and you can track your progress every single day, and you stick on the study plan. Okay, now with respect to study plan, there are some basic things that you will have to follow. I've already covered all of those tips in another video, so I'm not going to be covering all of those tips here. They are the same. So you will have to just check this one video that I'm going to link here in the I button and also in the description box below. You can check it out. This will help you make a study plan for yourself. Now let's talk about some tips that will really help you to make the optimum utilization of the available time that you have. Before your job also, before you start your articleship at 9 o'clock, wake up early in the morning. Okay, might be a little troublesome for you, but just wake up. Why? Because you're so damn fresh in the morning. You can take up theory subjects that you don't like. You can take up audit. If you don't like law, you can take up law. You can take up EIS. You can take up SM. You can take up those subjects which you really don't enjoy and they're theoretical in nature. In the morning, if you do maybe 10 pages, 20 pages, keep a target like that, and then that is going to really help you understand those subjects also and retain them also. Moreover, you will make the most of it. You will start your day with 3 to 4 hours of good study, focused study. Your entire day is going to go like that. It will go productive. You will feel happy, content. You will not feel guilty. Now, when you do that, the important thing to know is that you should know what you want to study. So the first step, we have already created a study plan for yourself. Based on that, you should know that today I will be doing 1 chapter, 2 chapters. Today I'll be studying law. Today I'll be studying tax. Okay, etc. So you should exactly know what you will be studying. Don't just take up any book and try to study. Initially, maybe to build the habit, you can take up any interesting topic and you can start studying till you get into the momentum of studying. Once you reach that momentum, then you have to be very strategic about what you're studying. Stay focused on the subject that you want to complete. So for that, what you can do is, before the day only, at night only, you can plan your next day, or early in the morning when you wake up, you can plan your day, which all topics you will try to complete, and then visualize it in your mind completing these topics. This is a very small exercise, hardly takes 1 minute or 2 minutes, but it really helps you stay organized and actually achieve those targets. The next very crucial tip is that you have to revise whatever you have studied in coaching. Let's say you're taking coaching of 1 or 2 subjects. Okay, now if suppose you're doing that coaching, maybe 3 hours or something you're spending in watching those lectures, same day itself try to revise whatever you have studied. It is going to save you so much time. It will work as the first reading of the subject. Okay, let's say you've completed 1 chapter of law, then at night only see that chapter from the book, read it thoroughly, solve the questions. If you have to make some shorthand notes, or if you have to underline some key important points, do that right away. So that way what happens is that 1 chapter is completed in the same day. It is really going to be working as first revision. By the end of that coaching, you will have already completed that subject, and then you can go ahead and start the second reading of that subject. Now I do understand that for everybody it might not be possible. You might not be getting enough time to complete coaching also and at the same time revising that topic the same day. In that case, what you can do is you can keep weekends for revision. Okay, so throughout your week, whatever coaching you have completed, whichever chapters you have completed, on the weekends spare like half a day or maybe 4 hours, 5 hours to revise every single thing that you have completed in your online coaching or offline coaching, whatever it is. The next extremely crucial tip is that you have to be a little clever. You have to be street smart with your timing. See, for usual people, they sit down on a study table, they study nicely. But for you, because you have very limited time available, you have to try to make time when there is no time. For example, you're traveling from your home to your office. That is like a half-hour commute for you. In that half hour, you can do something. Okay, so what you can do is probably download some notes, have a printout of them and study those small little topics from those notes. Okay, or carry your book with yourself, study at least 2, 5, 10 pages while you're commuting from your home to your office. Another thing you can do is you can have some sort of audio notes. Okay, create those audio notes yourself, or what you can do is you can download a lecture from YouTube, keep it saved in your watch later, and then while you're traveling, just listen to it. At least from that lecture you will understand something. While listening to that lecture, you can have your notes in your hand and you can just underline everything that is important. So in that half hour also you've completed 1 chapter. Okay, same way in your office also, during lunch hours, or maybe if your employer has not given you some work, you have some spare time, at that time take out that book from your bag and then study something. Okay, do something around that time. If you have to complete your coaching, spare those 15 minutes, 1 hour, half an hour from here and there, wherever you can find time, and do the study. It is going to count. See, if you study half an hour or maybe 1 hour just like this every single day, that counts to 120 hours in the period of 3 months or 4 months. That is huge. You can complete a whole subject 2 to 3 times in that time. Let's say you don't feel like studying while you're traveling or you're bored. In that case, you can use this EdGames platform. Now, this EdGames platform is a place where you can check whether you are able to solve multiple choice questions or not with respect to your CSCS or CMA curriculum. Okay, now they have an app also. You can simply download it from the Play Store, and this platform is absolutely free also. You can basically do any number of quizzes. You can actually do face-offs with other students or your friends itself. So while you're doing nothing, you don't feel like studying also, just solve a few questions here and there, and any which ways you will practice and you will study for your examination. So with respect to that, the link is in the description box below. You can check out this platform. The next crucial tip is that please be aware of social media. These are time suckers. They're black holes of time. You go on Instagram, you start scrolling, and then you don't even realize half an hour is gone by, 1 hour is gone by. Same way for YouTube also. You start with one video and then another video and another video. So whenever you catch yourself scrolling on these platforms, just quit, just leave. So if possible for you, discard all of these apps like Instagram, or maybe you can use some sort of app lock that locks your phone for a certain period of time. I know you're commuting, you need the phone, so that's okay. But then at least block these apps. You're going to save so much time. I'm not saying that don't use them at all, but probably use them after you deserve to use them, after you have actually studied enough. And when you go on these apps, you don't feel guilty. In fact, you feel that you deserve this little break that you're getting. Okay, so maybe after studying for the whole day, you can check these apps, or maybe after studying for a whole week, then you can check these apps maybe on Sunday or Saturday. Next crucial tip is make the most of the holidays that you're going to be getting. You're going to be getting Saturdays, you're going to be getting Sundays, you will have some festivals here and there when you are going to get off. Okay, so you will have to plan them in advance. In these days specifically, you will have to study for good 12 to 13 to 14 hours. You start your day with study, you do not go out, you don't waste your time with friends or family or here and there on social media or on Netflix movies, etc. Just study. Next tip is that make sure that you talk about your leaves to your employer and you get them as soon as possible. Same way every single day in office also, try to finish your work as fast as possible and try to get out of office as fast as possible. Avoid those office butterflies and avoid hanging out after office with your colleagues, with your other friends, articles in the office, because you know what, you have to pass this examination. You really need to get back home and you need to get to studying. Okay, so avoid those socializing activities in the office or after office hours or before office hours. And also make sure just you get out of office, complete your assignments as fast as possible so that you can maximize the time that you have for studying. Same way, just ask your employer to give those leaves as soon as possible. So be after the employer, just be in the good books of the employer so that he gives you those leaves fast enough. Another important thing is that before you get your leaves, make sure that your planning and execution of the plan is such that you have completed every single subject nicely at least one time. You have completed all the coaching before you get your leaves, so that in the leaves you can just focus on self-study. You don't have to go here and there. You can read everything that you have already done, you can revise it, then you can see the past exam papers, you can see the amendments, you can see the revision test papers, you can do the writing practice. All of that nicely you can do in the 1 month, 1.5 month leave that you get. See, the journey is going to be a little more difficult for you. It seems impossible, but trust me, it's not. I've seen so many students who have articleship, who have their job, who have their babies, who have their families alongside, okay, and they still manage to crack the examination. They make the most of time. The thing is, it's all about planning and execution, how mentally strong you are, how you're able to avoid all these distractions, how you're able to stay focused. If you are able to maintain focus, if you're able to say no to everything else because you hardly have any time, if your utmost priority is just going to your job and also just focusing on your studies because you badly want to pass in this examination, then yes, definitely you can. If I tell you about my experiences, you talk about CS exams, whether it is professional exam or whether it is executive exam, all this time I was going to my CA articleship and I was studying alongside my CA articleship. I hardly just had the morning 3 hours, 4 hours and the evening 3 hours, 4 hours. I did not even take any coaching. All I did from morning till night was study or work. I did not have any social life, and I think that's okay, because you got to give away something, you got to sacrifice something to get something else. So for me, that result, for me, that rank was so important that I was able to sacrifice my social life, my sleep, my entertainment in every possible way in order to study, and I got that rank. So you have to decide how badly do you want it. If you want it badly enough, then you got to sacrifice too. You got to sacrifice your distractions, you got to sacrifice social life, you got to make this the most important priority for you. And you got to stay focused. It's easy to make a study plan. It's difficult to stay focused and follow it. So you got to find ways to stick on this plan. I'm going to be making a couple of videos on how to stay focused and on track also in the coming future. So if you haven't subscribed already, then make sure that you do subscribe to this channel. So these were all the tips that I had, and I'm going to see you again in another video. Bye bye. Take care of yourself.